Hey there, everybody. This is Kristin from Teaching Balance, and I am here with you with this week's mindfulness meditation practice. And we are in the month of stillness. It is July, and this is the month that pretty much all educators are on summer vacation. Not everybody. Sometimes people teach summer school, and some of you I know aren't educators at all. But there is this quality, I think, in July of vacation vibes, certainly. And so I felt that that would be an appropriate theme for us to explore this month, since hopefully we're all working at least just a little bit less, taking vacations and etc. Now, last week, for the introduction, we explored this idea of stolen moments of stillness and this idea of just sort of having those little informal mindfulness moments throughout our day. And I'm hoping that you had the opportunity to play with that. And I thought that for this second week, it might be useful for me to either introduce you to or remind you of a practice that is a more structured exploration of those opportunities that might resonate with you and it might not, but I wanted to just put it out there. So, the practice that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to have that be the first part of our practice today, and then it'll transition because it is traditionally very short. It's called the pause practice. And so, very simply, the idea behind it is that you pause, you take 3 deep breaths, which of course we're all familiar with, and then you check in with what they call the triangle of awareness, which is thoughts, sensations, and emotions. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order. And just to give you a context as to where this comes from, this was developed, or at least taught to me, through the SMART in Education coursework, which I am an instructor for. SMART stands for Stress Management and Relaxation Techniques. So again, it's SMART in Education, and that comes out of the nonprofit PassageWorks, or the PassageWorks Institute. So if you have never heard me talk about them, or you've never heard of this and you're intrigued, I would highly recommend that you just look them up online. I think it's passageworks.org, and they do mindfulness based instruction for educators, and there's other pieces of support materials for teachers and school leaders as well. So that's my little shout out to PassageWorks. That being said, the pause practice has a lot of beautiful versatility. It's something that you could probably do in 60 seconds, and if you care to, you can also elongate it so that it is a bit longer. So if you were finding that you're the kind of person that likes to have like something to do when it comes to those micro moments of informal mindfulness, you can make them slightly more formal through this practice. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, I'm going to start us off with that, and then I'll conclude it, and then we'll transition into just a regular silent meditation practice to finish. Let me get my timer going for 10 minutes. When you're ready, allow yourself just to find that mindful posture, sitting in a way that is upright but not constricted or tight. If you've never heard me talk about it, I really like the idea of, or the expression that I've heard that applies not only to meditation but also as a way of being, is strong back and soft belly. So your back supports you, but you allow your front to be a little less tight and constricted. And just take those deep breaths and really let the belly expand, letting go of any judgment about how they would look or any of that kind of thing. Strong back, soft belly. And so as we transition into this pause practice, we've already begun by taking a moment to be still, to pause, and to take those 3 deep breaths. If you missed that, let's go ahead and just do another 3 for good measure. And then we're just going to check in with those 3 elements of that triangle of awareness. And I'm going to ask you to begin just by checking in with any body sensations that you might find it pretty easy to observe right now. Maybe noticing areas of tension in the body. And you don't have to change anything. You're just allowing yourself to be aware of it, how it is. Could be external sensation like contact with clothing or with your skin and the air. And it could be internal sensations like hunger or muscle sensation. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to let go of this noticing of sensations, and next, transition into noticing any thoughts that might be quite present for you right now. It could be thoughts about this particular practice, thoughts about something that occurred before you started this sit today. And it could even be things that you're thinking about in anticipation of something in the future. And we're not trying to quote unquote be mindful here. I actually want you to take a good look at these thoughts. And you're not pushing them away. You're just seeing them for what they are. And you can label them as a thought. And you can even be more specific and label them as plans, ideas, memories. And lastly, when you're ready, letting go of that noticing of thoughts and then checking in to see if any emotions are present. They might be closely connected to these predominant thoughts. And they might have actually been rather deep below the surface until you actually pause and check in. And there might be a true absence of emotion, and that's fine too. Just noticing what that is like. Again, not changing or judging anything, just noticing how it is. And if you care to, bringing it all the way back to where we started and perhaps seeing if there's any physical sensation associated with the emotion. If you're feeling a quality of anxiousness, where do you feel that anxiousness in your body? If you're feeling sleepy or exhausted, where do you feel that? It might be easily observable and it might not. And so, if you care to, and if you found it interesting, you can continue to play with this triangle of awareness. You can cycle through sensations, thoughts, emotions, if that's appealing to you, if you want to give it a little more of your attention. And if not, we're just going to transition into our general mindful awareness. And just allow your attention to rest on whatever seems easy to rest your attention on. It could be body sensations, it could be the breath, it just could be that moment-to-moment awareness of sounds, sensations, whatever it might be. So let's finish out our meditation together in silence until you hear the final bell. Just allowing yourself to have that mindful presence in whatever way feels easy and appropriate for you. that's our 10 minutes. So if you find yourself intrigued by this pause practice, just a quick reminder that the triangle of awareness, in case you're sort of like, oh, what was it? It's just noticing sensations, noticing thoughts, and noticing emotions. That's it, basically. So as you can imagine, that's pretty easy to apply. And it's a nice little, slightly more formulaic way of doing that more informal practice and allowing yourself just to cultivate some of that stillness in those moments throughout your day where, it's not necessarily in your best interest or appropriate or timely to actually do a full sit, where you can just check in, even if it's just for a minute or so. So as always, thank you so much for taking this time for yourself, and thank you for allowing me to accompany you on this journey. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye.